What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link that also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled Abusive Dad or Gaslighting Mom. So I was watching things with men and celebrities who are labeled abusive dads. And I'm watching the interactions, and it made me remember some things where when you see dads getting on their kids, right, then they're abusive, right? And I'm looking at it like, you don't like the way this man's talking to his son or daughter, and that's abusive to you. But are you not paying attention to what their son or daughter is doing? See, this is why I say abusive dad or gaslighting mom, because what you see when these households are broken up is this idea that you don't have to respect your father. So you wind up getting into these conflicts with father and son or father and daughter because what? The child normally doesn't respect their father, even if their father is doing the right thing and a respectable thing. There's this constant challenging. And then all of a sudden, you see dads bite back. And then all of a sudden, that's abusive to y'all. But to me, that's gaslighting mom. Because that very same behavior, you would call disrespect to a mother. Don't you ever talk to your mother like that. Don't talk back to your mother. Don't get an attitude with your mother. Don't get fly with your mother. Don't be slick with your mother. But and if the mother bites back, that's what you get. But when dad does that, it's abusive dad. So is he really abusive, or is he really checking his child for being disrespectful? Now, some people are over the top. I get that. You know, some people are actually abusive. But let's talk about the people who are abusive as them being abusive, and not talk about the people who actually have to check their out of line child who was taught to be out of line by that other parent. And then people go, huh? Yeah. Because look at the kids as when the kids go in society or go out into the world and they just undisciplined, all over the place, aloof. That's not because dad was abusive. That's not. My dad abandoned me, so I'm lazy. No. That's gaslighting right there. That's telling the kid, it's okay. You don't have to do that. It's okay. Because where does some of this stuff come from? Y'all notice these mothers. Is he saying good morning to you? Oh, he's evil. Did he call? You don't have to answer. You don't have to talk. Did he text? You don't have to answer that text. You don't have to respond. Oh, he's abusive and texting hello and calling and seeing what you're doing. He's invading your privacy. So why do you think these kids tripping? Because I thought about that. Because I've been watching online, social media clips of, just regular life or reality TV or just, in general. And I've seen so many of these kids who were actually gaslit by their mom to be irresponsible. Because it spills over from be irresponsible and disrespectful to dad. Don't you be that to mom, but they wind up being that to society. But dad's abusive. And then here's the problem. If dad's abusive for checking you, and you have other issues like if you got legal issues, if you need therapy, if you got issues as far as education, if you have social issues, if you have anxiety issues, what are these issues coming from? Your mama gaslighting you. Your dad is abusive to you because your dad's actually getting on you about how the world actually works, and you can't handle that. But then the world starts giving you that work, and you can't handle that either. And then what happens? Mama abandons you. You grown now. And this is why I say, because when you see kids coming up, it's this scenario where the older the kid gets, the less of a support system mom's gonna get. And then because the kid is gonna be, when these kids are dysfunctional, they become so bad at a certain age that you can't blame abusive dad, because guess what happens? Abusive dad is saying the very same thing that mom is saying and all of mom's family and friends are saying. But it's just abusive when dad says it. But guess what? When the family and friends say the same thing, guess what they do? That kid can't come around me no more. Kid can't come around the rest of the family. You stuck with your kid because you raised that kid that way. And then all of a sudden, everybody that was all team abusive dad, they back off too, like, he was right. Y'all knew he was right the whole time. Y'all seen this happen over and over and over and over again. Look at your own family. Look at your own kids, your own siblings, your own nieces and nephews. You see how this works out. Because you just, she's a mother. Uh-huh. Now your child is a liar, a cheater, a thief. Because even if you go to court, when you put a kid in a situation where they're in court testifying against their other parent, and comes out, these things aren't really true, or the things are absolutely true, but nobody says it's because the kid got checked for being out of line. Then it's a problem because the trope of dads being mean and evil and abusive and on your head. Okay, dad ain't gonna do it no more. But what happens when your teacher do it? What happens when the coaches do it? What happens when your professors, when you grow and say, hey, you can't hack it in school because you can't discipline yourself? We giving you this F. What happens when jobs fire you? What happens if you get arrested? What happens then? Is society abusive because your dad was abusive? Or are you just out of your mind because you were taught, you were gaslit that everything's going to be okay. Nobody can tell you anything. You don't ever have to listen to that. You're special. You're great. Nobody stopped you. But then mom tells you to say, I did this for you. You got to listen to me. I'm the one who was always there for you. I always had your back. Nobody loves you like I love you. Then you start to realize all this love didn't get me nowhere. As a matter of fact, this got me isolated. Because when all the mother's love has you as a teenager, as a young adult, and as an adult isolated from your family, and you want to walk away from your mother or your mother's side of the family because you're not really feeling the love anymore. It's because dad wasn't abusive, mom was gaslighting. And then when you become parents, think about that. Then you become, and if you're a boy, you become a father, you turn into abusive dad because gaslighting is passed down from generation to generation. Just like the women that become mothers. All of a sudden, all these court games, child support games, using the children games, they're just, the girls know it just like that. And they play it just like that. And then people try to tell her they're wrong, but how you going to tell these daughters that they're wrong when the daughters learn from you? Now you in church praying to Jesus. I hope God can teach my baby how to be right. But you can't stand up to your own child because you created your own child because you've been gaslighting your child your whole life. And now you created Frankenstein. But we're going to blame it on abusive dad. And how is it that these abusive dads, a lot of these abusive dads, when adult life really starts kicking in, who do you run to? Do you run to abusive dad for advice and help and guidance? Or do you run to gaslighting mom? See, when it really hits the fan, you run back to abusive dad. Good old abusive dad. He knows. He understands. What about gaslighting mom? I don't like her. Oh, so, but you want that abusive dad to forgive all the stuff you was doing. Because let's be honest, a lot of children can get gaslit like that. But teenagers, not so much. Teenagers choose to get gaslit because they can go to the easier parent with no structure, no code, no discipline, no expectations. So that's usually gaslighting mom. She'll let the kid get away with murder. So the kid, I'm definitely, Dad's abusive. Dad is definitely abusive because I got a curfew. Dad expects me to get good grades. He almost killed me last week. No, I don't want to be there. Gaslighting mom. Now you're in the house. You bring your boyfriend or girlfriend in the house. You're not really studying like you should. You don't care about your future. You might be drinking alcohol and doing drugs. You might be partying too much. You might be having sex and unprotected sex at that. That's okay. Why? It's all fun because gaslighting mom has no rules. Or you won't respect gaslighting mom's rules because you know gaslighting mom is full of it. Because she created the murder to get away with. So, let's just be honest about this. I'm done. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.